Welcome to Keto Meals and Recipes.com. Today I'm going to show you and explain how this Za'atar seasoning, a flavorful spice blend that originated in the Middle Eastern regions around the Mediterranean, can be used to make an easy and flavorful sheet pan meal. Also in this video I will show you two different ways to make this meal. One, a sheet pan method, and the other, a stovetop method. I will also provide suggestions of which vegetables can be done at the same time with the chicken, and also at what point you should freeze everything as a prep ahead freezer meal. Since this is meant to be a meal, I will provide several vegetable side dishes that I think would make great additions to the Za'atar chicken. And as always, explain my choices and reasoning. And before I forget, please do check out the end cards, which I have specifically selected if you like this video. And if you're like me, you like a bit of information about the ingredients, so I have interleaved information and history of Za'atar spice mix at relevant points, so keep watching. To know what direction to take future videos, please let me know if you like this kind of extra information about key ingredients I use in the video, so that you can make a wise choice for yourself and to have an understanding of the macronutrient data for the Za'atar Chicken Sheet Pan dinner. The ratio of this meal is 2.6 to 1, with 5.9 grams of total carbs, 1.5 grams of soluble fiber, 1 gram of insoluble fiber, resulting in 3.4 grams of net carbs per complete meal size serving, which also includes the cauliflower in this case. The first thing I'm going to do is prepare the za'atar and oil coating for the chicken thighs. So in a small bowl, or as I'm doing in a large measuring cup, mix together the olive oil, the green Za'atar spice mix. I'll provide a link for this ingredient in the description box. And also add the finely ground salt. And lastly, the freshly grated garlic. Then stir well. For those of you who have never had Za'atar spice mix, it has a perfect combination of flavors that can be described as slightly herby tasting, nutty, savory, zesty, and earthy. It's a really nice complex taste that is very, very flavorful. This Za'atar marinade mixture, or oil, will last in your fridge for quite a while, so I always make extra. Another good thing about this spice, it's very versatile and can be sprinkled on many other foods to boost the flavor. I have found that I really like it on roasted chicken and roasted vegetables, or as a spread for nice hearty bread like my walnut bread. Having made my Za'atar oil mixture, it's now time to preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. Next, as I always recommend, rinse your chicken in a light vinegar bath, and so that the Za'atar oil mixture will adhere to the chicken's surface, use a paper towel to pat dry both sides of all of your thighs. Now it's time to get some sort of deep-sided bowl or casserole dish, into which I first drop in a bit of Za'atar and oil mixture on the bottom of the pan, get my chicken thigh to coat, and then flip over to coat the other side. Then just repeat the step for all the rest of your thighs. And after you've coated all of your thighs, set aside for a moment. I prefer doing it one thigh at a time because by doing it this way I ensure that each thigh is extremely well coated. For the everything in one sheet pan method, I usually prefer to use cauliflower, which I have cut into large florets, and I pour about 1/3 of the Za'atar oil on top, and then toss to lightly coat the cauliflower. Having done that, I distribute the cauliflower on my parchment-lined rimmed baking sheet. Now here's a bit of history about this tasty Middle Eastern spice mix. The Za'atar spice blend recipe can vary between Middle Eastern regions and can also vary between families. However, the basic formula for this spice mix is a combination of thyme, oregano, marjoram, which gives it a floral and woody taste, sesame seeds, sumac, which contributes a tangy and slightly acrid taste, and salt. As I said, it depends on the region what other spices could be added. Another point that I'd like to share because I found it interesting is many of the plants for this spice mixture are native to the Levant area, which includes modern-day Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Palestine, Israel, and parts of Egypt. And as a result, the Za'atar spice blend has been used in the Middle Eastern culture for thousands of years and has been used for everything from food preparation, as medicine, and to make certain perfumes. Now, getting back to the recipe, the next step is to nestle the prepared chicken thighs between the cauliflower. And don't forget to drizzle the remaining za'atar oil on top of your chicken thighs. That's all there is to the prep, so transfer the sheet pan into the middle position of your preheated oven and bake for about 35 to 40 minutes, or until the internal meat temperature is 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius, and the outer skin is nice and golden. When your chicken is done, remove everything from the oven and let rest for a few minutes before serving. Now here's a hint for prep ahead. Get a few more chicken thighs, coat the chicken thighs very well, put your coated chicken thighs in a freezer-safe Ziploc baggie, label it, and put it in the freezer for prep ahead meals. This can stay in your freezer for several months. Now the second method on how to make this Za'atar chicken and cauliflower meal is on the stovetop. For this method, the steps are a little bit different. So after coating your chicken and cauliflower, the first thing I do is I put some oil in my Dutch oven and place my chicken thighs skin side down. Cook the chicken until it has a nice golden color. Flip it around. Add my za'atar coated cauliflower. And again, use any of the remaining za'atar oil you have left over to spread over your chicken and your cauliflower. Cover your pot with the lid and cook the meat until it reaches 165 Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. Now this combination method works really well with cauliflower, but I don't really like it with other vegetables, which also complement the Za'atar chicken. One of my favorite vegetables is to substitute the cauliflower with acorn squash. When making the acorn squash, I prefer to bake the vegetables and the chicken in separate pans. To prepare the acorn squash, simply cut in half, scoop out the seeds and stringy bits, and then cut between each of the grooves to make nice thick wedges. Lightly coat the wedges with the za'atar oil mixture, and then place the wedges on a parchment-lined baking sheet and bake in a preheated oven set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. You want the squash to be fork tender but not mushy. Now here's another vegetable side dish that my family and I really like with the Za'atar chicken, and that's my cauliflower and broccoli gratin. What's great about this particular side dish is that any extras can be frozen. I have included all important links in the description box, so please go down there to check them out. I'd like to thank you for watching my video, and please come back when I post my next video. Your support means so much to me. Until next time, I hope you have a very happy and healthy day. Cheers!